is a fantastic singer-songwriter, but also the executive director of the People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle. Welcome back again, Ben Groscup.
Thanks for having me back. This song is called Harriet Tubman's Ballad. Y'all know about Harriet Tubman? Conductor of the Underground Railroad. And this song was written by Woody Guthrie. I was 5 years old in Bucktown, Maryland, went into slavery. I was sent. I will tell you of the beatings and the fighting in my 93 years I spent. I helped a slave hand make a run for freedom when my 15th year come rolling round. The guard, he caught him in a little store in a little slavery village town. The boss made a grab to catch the field hand. I jumped in and blocked the door. The boss, he hit me with a 2-pound scale iron, and I went black down on the floor. On a bundle of rags in our log cabin, my mother, she ministered my needs. It was there I swore I'd give my lifeblood just to turn my people free. It was there I swore I'd give my lifeblood just to turn my people free. In 44 I married John Tubman. I loved him well till 49, but he would not come and fight beside me, so I left him there behind. I left Bucktown with my 2 brothers, but they got scared and come back home. I followed my northern star of freedom. I walked the grass and trees alone. I followed my northern star of freedom. I walked the grass and trees alone. I slept in barn lofts and in haystacks. I slept with my people in slavery shacks. They said I'd die by the boss man's bullets. I said I'm never turning back. Then bright on one early morning, I came to my free state line. I pinched myself to see if I was dreaming. Freedom right before my eyes. I pinched myself to see if I was dreaming. Freedom right before my eyes. I went back down south to get my parents, loaded them in a buckboard hack. We crossed 6 states and other slaves followed up to Canada. We made our tracks. One slave got scared and tried to turn backwards. I pulled my pistol right in front of his eyes. I said, get up and walk to your own freedom, or by this fireball you will die. I said, get up and walk to your own freedom, or by this fireball you will die. When John Brown hit them at Harper's Ferry, my men was fighting right by his side. When John Brown swung on the gallows pole, it was then I hung my head and cried. Give the black man guns and give him powder. To old Abe Lincoln, this I said: you've just crippled the snake of slavery. We've got to fight to kill it dead. You've just crippled the snake of slavery. We've got to fight to kill it dead. We have faced the guns of lightning. Thunders broke us from our sleep. We have waited in bloody rainstorms, broken bodies that we reaped. Though we faced the zigzag lightning, it was worth the price we paid. When our thunder had rumbled over, we had laid slavery in its grave. When our thunder had rumbled over, we had laid slavery in its grave. Come now and gather round my deathbed. Sing to me a freedom song. I'm going now to meet my maker. My 93 years are gone. Come now and gather round my children. Listen to me, my dear ones. Don't you dare go thinking that I'm something special and that you couldn't do just what I've done. Don't you dare go thinking that I'm something special and that you couldn't do just what I've done. Thank you. That was a song written by Woody Guthrie, and I heard it from Ethan Miller, who's, I don't know if he's putting out albums like he used to be, but doing some good academic research for sure, and activism in the cooperative economy. But anyway, the original song had like one chord, and then, you know, it was Woody Guthrie ballad, which was kind of a typical style for a lot of those ballads. And I liked some of the chords Ethan put on it. Little folk process in there. Another song with some folk process is the next one. I don't know if y'all heard this song that got a little bit popular a while back. It was written by this guy, Oliver Anthony. He wrote a song called Rich Men North of Richmond. And you know, Oliver Anthony's kind of in a country music style. And there's a strong tradition in the country music style of response songs. Like one song says something, but then somebody writes a song kind of in a similar musical idiom to actually answer that, which Billy Bragg did. And this is kind of like a response song to the response song. So it's Rich Men Owning North of $1 billion. If you're selling your soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, nothing's gonna change if all you do is wish you could wake up and it not be true. Join a union, fight for better pay. Join a union, organize today. If you want your freedom, it's time we stand. ground. Rich men owning north of $1 billion wanna keep us working folks down. Wanna keep us working folks down. If you form a union, you'll soon find common troubles on working folks' minds. The dollar won't stretch, there's a family to feed. The health insurance doesn't cover what you need. If you even have it. So when your neighbor's in pain and he's putting on pounds and he takes a pill just so he can move around, something's wrong when we let him drown in the shame of being kicked so damn far down. Join a union. Fight for free health care. Join a union. Tell the rich to pay their share. We face a common enemy, black or white or brown. Rich men owning north of $1 billion wanna keep us working folks down. Wanna keep us working folks down. The culture war stirs righteous hearts. While our future falls apart, they're building nuclear bombs as the oceans rise and the wildfire smoke burns our eyes. Well, the class war's here, it's nothing new. It's the rich against poor, not the red against blue. If you don't want the rich having total control, we gotta make the union roll. Join a union for peace and dignity. Join a union for all humanity. Whether you live in a city or a little country town, rich men owning north of $1 billion. Rich men owning north of $1 billion. Rich men owning north of $1 billion wanna keep us working folks down. Wanna keep us working folks down. Your soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay. Join a union.
Woo!
Thank you. So along the lines of unions, we got somebody from the Massachusetts Nurses Association will be speaking later, and I'm gonna do a song called. Actually, how many of you have Metro cards for just the Boston T? What's it called? Give me the name.
Charlie card.
Charlie card. What's the song that the Charlie card is based on? Exactly.
Yeah, okay, right.
So, this song is a parody of Charlie on the MTA. It's called Nancy on the Med-Surg Floor. Well, let me tell you of the story of a nurse named Nancy and the way that she's been ignored. She grabbed her stethoscope and scrubs, kissed her husband, and family went to work on the med-surg floor. But did she ever return? No, she never returned, and her fate is still unlearned. Poor old Nancy, she may work forever in the med-surg unit. She's the nurse who never returned. See if we can get that together. Did she ever return? No, she never returned, but her fate is still unlearned. She may work forever on the med-surg unit. She's the nurse who never returned. Nancy worked all night from 7 to 7, never letting her attention drift. Then the morning sun deceived her, there was no one to relieve her. Nancy couldn't get off her shift. But did she ever return? No, she never returned, and her fate is still unlearned. What a pity, she may work forever in the med-surg unit. She's the nurse who never returned. Nancy worked all day giving medicines and comfort, but she never could get a break. She took care of 7 patients who had many complications and somehow had to stay awake. But did she ever return? No, she never returned, and her fate is still unlearned. She may work forever, forever in the med-surg unit. She's the nurse who never returned. Nancy told her boss, hey, we need more nurses to care for the patients here. He said, we think the pace is fine if the profits meet the baseline of $400 million last year. Does she read tax returns? Oh, yes, she reads tax returns, and she's seen the profits they earn. Shame and scandal, though her boss would never treat her fair. She taught him she's the nurse who reads tax returns. Now, you hard-working nurses, don't you think it's a scandal that the boss has gotta be so cheap? Stay with our picket line till our contract has been signed, so Nancy can go home and sleep. Or else she'll never return, no, she'll never return, and her fate will be unlearned. Like poor old Charlie, she may work forever in the med-surg unit. She's the nurse who never returned. She's the nurse who never returned. Thank you. I'll do a song I wrote called Uncle Sam Sees a Shrink. Song was inspired by a cartoon, actually, but I think that, you know, the fact that we can't fund healthcare as a country, that we can't fund basic infrastructure as a country, does mark something kind of in a psychosis of the society itself, in the psychosis of the logic of the state. And maybe Uncle Sam needs to see a shrink. So I'm not sure how much good it will do, but there you go. Here we go. So what brought me here, shrink, is I started to think that perhaps I've gone into decline. I almost forget when the sun never set on countries whose rules I define. My unrivaled power meant nations would cower and help my vast wealth to accrue. If one wasn't supine or they got out of line, well, I'd just take them out in a coup. And I have by far the best nuclear warheads. Each one is on trigger alert. My hundreds of foreign bases are spread to maintain the control I exert. So, doctor, help me. I can't understand why wielding this power feels pointless and bland. Even with all my arms, my wealth and grandeur, I still feel so insecure. So insecure, so insecure. Even with my grandeur, I feel so insecure. So be frank with me, please. I'm down on my knees. Your words come with weighty credentials. Why am I in this pain? Can you help me regain the status of being essential? It just makes me irate when erstwhile client states demand that I honor their borders. I feel anxious and sick. Check the diagnostic manual full of mental disorders. Hey doctor, what's the assessment at which you've arrived? And where's it described in this text? Well, I'm paging up there right now in the DSM-5. Just tell me the section heading again. The military industrial complex? Wow, you found my complex. You found my complex. I'll read next from this text where you found my complex. It says the symptoms are fraudsters and hacks win the biggest contracts, building jet fighters and drones. Economies go down in the cities and towns once lenders start calling in loans. Doc, my global franchise runs on free enterprise. You're missing my problem's causation. Just help me to see all the threats facing me, like the meddling done by foreign nations. Or do you mean to imply that the very armed forces, key to the power I've known, empty me of my best resources and cause me to feel so alone? Feel so alone, feel so alone. Don't tell me you've known why I feel so alone. My consultants attested that you were the best, but I clearly see now you're a phony. I pay you too well to be left in this hell of the stress that comes with hegemony. This session has only made me feel more ill and thrown your prestige into doubt. You should have known I'm a shining city on a hill. We're done now and I'm walking out.
Woohoo!
All right, thanks so much again for having me here. This is going to be my last song. This song is called Palestine, and it was written by Jim Page, and also covered by Christy Moore. And in the folk process, I've just worked on it a little bit, but I just feel I'm ending with this song because for me, the genocide in Gaza is the defining moral question of our time, in the West particularly. My heart is breaking. I feel like I'm not doing enough to stop the genocide. I hope you feel that way too, because there's more we need to do to change consciousness in this country, to build a political alternative. I won't give a big speech right now, maybe another time, but this also has a sing-along part for you, and I invite you to sing with me on it. This is Palestine by Jim Page. I'll be quick as I can. The terrible news from the Holy Land. Pictures of children etched in my brain, covered in rubble and wails of pain. Jews and Arabs lived one and the same. for 1,000 years till the Zionists came. They came like a river, came like a flood. Al-Nakba was written on the wall in blood. In Palestine, in Palestine, sing with me, in Palestine, in Palestine, in Palestine. There's talk about the settlers from far away. Talk about the money from the USA. The blast of bombs, the search for bread, killer drone hovering overhead. What do you do when they destroy your home and say your land is not your own? Do you dare to resist? Do you stand up with a gun in your fist? In Palestine, in Palestine. They talk about peace like it's a moral obligation, but there can't be peace under occupation. They talk about talks, talks, talks to the beat of the drum. 70 years now, no justice done. Let's talk about who we endorse. Smug politicians who ride an iron horse. No wonder why it seems to be such an undemocratic version of democracy. In Palestine, in Palestine, let me hear you. In Palestine, in Palestine. Let me tell you a story. I'll be quick as I can. This terrible news from the Holy Land. Thank you so much. Thank you, Peace Action. Love all of you. Thanks for being here. Welcome back, Brian.
One more time for Ben Grosskopf.